Hi fellows, in this video we want to read A Tale of Two Cities chapter 9, and the title of the chapter is The Spy. In the previous chapter we read that Charles Dickens was arrested again by the hands of citizens of Saint-Antoine, Madame Defarge, Monsieur Defarge, and a third person that we don't know that person's identity. So let's start this story to find out what is going to happen to Charles Dickens. Can he finally survive through the revolution? While this was happening, the arresting of Charles Dickens, Miss Pross was out shopping for the family. Jerry Cruncher was with her. Jerry Cruncher came to Paris to protect Lucie, and they had just gone into a wine shop when Miss Pross suddenly stopped, looked at one of the customers, and cried out in a loud voice, "Oh, Solomon! Dear Solomon! I found you at last, dear brother! But whatever are you doing here in Paris?" So this Solomon is not Miss Pross's love. He's actually her brother. "Don't call me Solomon. You'll get me killed. Pay for your wine and come outside," said the man in a low, frightened voice. They went outside. Miss Pross took care of Lucie since she was 10 years old. She loves Lucie. She has a pure love for Lucie. An unselfish woman, as we read, and now she's meeting her brother. "You must not recognize me here," said the man. "It's not safe. Go your way, and let me go mine." Miss Pross began to cry at these unbrotherly words. Unbrotherly, not characteristics of a brother, befitting a brother, not coming from a brother, unbrotherly. And the Jerry Cruncher stepped forward to stare in the man's face. "Wait a minute," said Jerry. Is your name John Solomon or Solomon John? Your sister calls you Solomon. I know that your name's John. I remember that. But your other name wasn't Pross at that old Bailey trial. What was your name then?" "Bastille," said another voice. "Bastille. The man who spoke against Charles Dickens at Old Bailey's court." "Yes, Bastille. That's it," cried Jerry. He turned around and saw Sidney Cartoon standing behind him. Sidney Cartoon was a lawyer at Old Bailey's court. "Don't be alarmed, my dear Miss Pross," said Cartoon, smiling at her. "But I'm afraid I have to tell you that your brother is a spy for the French prisons." Aha! He was an informer in London, employed by French crown. Solomon Pross, also Bastille, went pale. "That's not true. I saw you come out of the conciergerie." Now, what is a conciergerie? Concierge is like a guard, like a police officer, who checks people entering and leaving a building. And conciergerie is where they work. For example, a stand somewhere they sleep during the night, or a place where a group of concierges work. "I saw you come out of the conciergerie today. I followed you," said Cartoon. "And I found out what you do, and I've decided that you may be able to help me. Come with me to the office of Mr. Lorry." This bastard was introduced at Charles Dickens trial, and he is an untrustworthy character. He offered fake evidence to frame Charles Dickens as a spy. No, he's a spy himself. I have to tell you that your brother is a spy, said Cartoon. Is this guy? John Bassett, Solomon, anyone? Miss Pross, apparently Jerry and Sidney Cartoon. After a short argument, which Cartoon won, Bassett followed him to Mr. Lorry's office. I bring bad news, Cartoon said to Mr. Lorry. Dickens has been arrested again. But I was with him only 2 hours ago, cried Mr. Lorry. He was safe and free. Now, if he is an spy, an informer in London, what is he doing in France again? Is he back because of the revolution? Even so, he has been arrested and taken to the conciergerie. And I'm not sure that Dr. Manette's good name can save him this time. So we must have Mr. Bassett's help. I will not help you, said Solomon Pross, called John Bassett. So many names. Oh, I think you will, said Sidney Cartoon, when you hear what I could say about you. Let's think. Mr. Bassett is a spy and a prison guard. He is a prison guard now, so he's working for revolutionary current. He works in the conciergerie as a prison guard. But he used to be a spy in England. Is he still paid by the English? Very good. No one will listen to you, said Bassett. But I can say more, Mr. Bassett, replied Cartoon. So now he's a police spy in France, apparently in Saint-Antoine. He's a double agent. Bassett had more problems than Cartoon knew. He could not return to England because he was wanted by the police there. In France, before he became a prison guard for the Citizens' Revolution, he had been a spy for the king's officer. He knew that Madame Defarge, that terrible woman, had knitted his name into her list of enemies of the people. This Solomon has made everyone enemies. Most of those on her list had already been killed by the guillotine, and Bassett did not want to be the next. You seem worried, Mr. Bassett, said Cartoon calmly. On the top of everything, he's a foreigner, and all foreigners are sent to guillotine. His true identity is British. His true name is Solomon Pross, and John Bassett is a fake identity. He's a foreigner. The spy turned to Mr. Lorry. Miss Pross is my sister, sir. Would you send her brother to his death, sir? The best thing for your sister, Mr. Bassett, said Cartoon smoothly. Smoothly means without fluctuations, plain, flat, with a plain voice, with a flat voice, like this. The best thing for your sister, Mr. Bassett, plain, without fluctuations, is not to have a brother like you. I think I will inform the tribunal that I suspect you of spying for England, smoothly. You will be condemned at once, I am sure. Condemned means to find someone guilty, to sentence someone to punishment. All right, Bassett said slowly. I'll help you, but don't ask me to do anything that will put my life in danger, because I won't do it. You're a guard at the conciergerie prison, where Dickens is, aren't you? So he's a prison guard in Saint-Antoine, said Cartoon. Come, let us talk privately in the next room. Yes, Bassett's position as a spy can help Charles Dickens to escape the prison. When Mr. Cartoon returned alone, Mr. Lorry asked what he had done. Not much, replied Cartoon. But if it goes badly for Dickens tomorrow, I can visit him once. It's all I could do. But that will not save him, cried Mr. Lorry sadly. I never said he would. Cartoon. Mr. Lorry was an old man now, with a life of hard work behind him. Tears filled his eyes as he realized he could do nothing to help Lucie and her father. Jarvis Lorry is so old now, he must be 80 years old or maybe older, and he's the trustee and guardian of Manette's family, the best friend of Manette's family. Sidney Cartoon felt very sorry for Mr. Lorry. You're a good friend of Dr. Manette and his daughter, but don't tell them about me or this meeting. It can't help Lucie. He paused, stopped talking, stopped doing something for a short while. Pause. Stop doing something for a short while. Pause. Will you go back to London soon? Yes, my work for Tellson's Bank here is finished. I have the necessary papers to leave Paris. I was ready to go tomorrow. Then don't change your plans, said Cartoon very seriously. Later that night, Sidney Cartoon visited a shop in a quiet corner of Paris. Wine shop? He wrote on a piece of paper the names of several powders and gave it to the shopkeeper. Well, we know that Sidney Cartoon is in love with Lucie, and I think he is going to put himself in danger to protect Lucie. For you, citizen? Asked the shopkeeper. Yes, for me. You must be careful, citizen. Keep these things separate. You know what happens if you put them together? Perfectly, replied Cartoon. He spent the rest of that night walking the streets of Paris. He watched the moon rise in the sky. He listened to the sounds of the river Seine flowing through the heart of the city. And he thought calmly about the past and the future. He thought about all the death that the city had already seen, and he thought about Lucie's gentle, loving face, and her sad, sad eyes. It seems like he's going to do something. Maybe he's going to sacrifice himself. He wants to make a heroic act. Cartoon spent the rest of the night walking the streets of Paris. We learned these new words in this chapter: unbrotherly, concierge and conciergerie, smoothly, condemn, or simple past form, condemned, pause or paused. Sidney Cartoon has always been intelligent, always willing to do anything for Lucie. Is he really going to sacrifice himself, his life? We're going to understand in the next chapter. See you then.